See, hey, I'm
That
gonna talk for a little bit here while you can work behind the scenes. So you already know how my weekend went. Here we are at Monday again. I spent the whole weekend at my high school reunion class of 1979.
that
Hard to
is
believe.
mind blowing to me. You guys do not look like 1979 people. I'm going to tell you. Um, okay, I'm going to move this to a couple of the groups here.
I'll be sure to tell all my friends that you said that.
You guys all
Yeah.
look really good, though. You looked really good. I'm going to move it into the studio. We're sorry we're a little late tonight. We're having some technical issues, so it's one of those, please stand by things. But I'm going to go ahead and share it in a couple places, make sure it's there, and then
Sure.
we will start talking. So you went to Rochester, New York, correct?
I did, and like I said, I gave them all Park Lane jewelry, and they acted like I gave them $1 million. So
You
that was really
did. How
fun.
sweet is
Yeah. I mean,
that?
I don't mean everyone at the reunion, but like my inner circle. Yeah, we had a great
Your
time.
inner circle girls were probably super happy about that. That
They
is
really
awesome.
were. They really were. Like you just, I mean, I do so much with jewelry, obviously, but you forget like someone who doesn't really necessarily associate you with only that and has no expectations, just how much that tickled them. And that's the feeling our normal customers feel when they give someone jewelry, you know?
You know, it's
So,
funny you should say that because we went to this cousins thing the one time at Christmas. I think it was last year. And I just brought them all like a little necklace. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like just as a little thank you or cutesy tootsy thing. They were so tickled by that. And it was just so funny because I mean,
Like you
one of
weren't
them
used to it.
buys from me, the other two don't. You know what I mean? And it was just
Mhm.
they just thought it was so cute. And I just did it because I thought it was a nice gesture. Like, that's the
Mhm.
reason I did it. All right. Well, listen, I believe we are in the right places. I am just checking one more place just to be safe. But we are streaming live on the Grace and Grit Studio business page as well as the Grace and Grit Studio. We also have a group, which is a private group. So we kind of go in two places just to make sure we catch everyone. I want to welcome all the people that have hopped on. Thank you so much. Please drop a comment. Let us know you're here and let us know who invited you. Also, if you are watching this on the studio page, live or replay, we ask that you simply click that little button that says share and share this on your walls. And, don't be afraid to invite some of your friends to this. We go live every Monday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and you get to hear from our very talented and very lovely executive company vice president, Mary Grace Lewandowski. So I'm going to have the opportunity to ask her 4 questions that people ask a lot about our job. And I'm going to be honest with you. You may be watching this because someone invited you to watch it because they think you'd be great for this, or you may be watching this because you just happened upon it. But what we want you to do is just listen to it with a very open mind and an open heart, because this might be something that is perfect for you as an additional income stream, or it could be something that is perfect for somebody that you know, and we sure as heck would love for you to refer them to us. So welcome to everybody that's hopped on. Welcome, Mary Grace. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Monday night. And I am going to start with the age-old question that everybody wants to know, and that is, why direct sales, or what even is direct
Yeah,
sales?
I don't think everyone does want to know that, but I'm going to tell them. Yeah.
I think they do.
I think a lot of times people don't even realize what, like what we do or, what type of business it is. But
Sure.
yeah, direct sales just means direct to consumer. It's really an age old way to do business. The original salespeople in the world that would go like cabin to cabin with their like cart full of pots and pans and stuff were direct sales. Um, but in our
They were
particular industry, a lot of times we get asked like, is it like a pyramid scheme? And to be honest, I've never been involved with a pyramid scheme, but my understanding is that first of all, it's illegal, and secondly, that people like at the top make money and people at the bottom do not. And
great.
I've made money since the day I started working this industry, so no, it is not a pyramid scheme. Direct sales, like I said, just means direct to consumer. In today's world, it is a very popular way to shop because customers are missing the relationships that you have with people, but they don't necessarily want to go to the mall. They like to order online and stuff sometimes, but they don't have that personal connection or someone to give them advice. So they're actually absolutely loving that we serve as liaisons between the company and them. And I I got into direct sales because I went to a party. When we used to do everything in person, and it just looked fun. And I
Yeah.
just thought the sales girl was having so much fun. She literally at one time said, "Did you ever just meet someone who just loves what they do?" Because she was so entertaining. And I thought, no, not very often. I thought,
True.
I know. I want
So
to love what
true.
I yeah. And since then, over the years, I've done training in direct sales. Obviously, for 25 years, I've been in the industry, and I've run across a lot of different benefits of direct sales. And the person that I think really kind of summed it up the most for me, made the biggest impression, was David Bach. I know you've heard of him because I talk about him a lot. But he wrote the best New York Times bestseller, The Automatic Millionaire. And I was always interested in a way to grow, to be better, to be able to give my family maybe honestly, just I know money isn't everything. It certainly isn't, not by a long shot, but
No,
it really helps, you know.
it's
And if
comforting.
you're
Yeah.
if you're so stressed out of taking care of your own,
Yeah.
not only are you stressed out and not giving them your best self, but you certainly aren't doing all kinds of charitable things for others. It's because you're so busy taking care of your own. So David Bach summed it up so well because he said he had come up with a formula that would help ordinary, oh, sorry, guys, the dog, ordinary everyday people become millionaires in a relatively short time through the power of investing. What he didn't expect was how much people fought him on even the thought of investing even a little bit of money because they were living not paycheck to paycheck, but beyond paycheck to
Beyond.
paycheck.
Yeah.
It literally something like 99.9% of Americans. And
Yeah.
I knew at that time when I listened to it, I was. So at the end of the month, we were putting things on credit cards. We were paying off debt that we had. Maybe we're saving up for a vacation, but we certainly didn't have extra to invest. And
Mhm.
he said when he tried to come up with a way for people to have extra money without upsetting their entire lifestyle and what they had already decided to do as far as stay at home with kids or blah, 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 work certain hours, he said he discovered direct sales. And I have felt this way. You have felt this way.
Yeah.
We work when we want to work. We work around the schedule we already have. We don't have someone else telling us when we have to work. And that is a way not only to get out of debt, but also to be able to save up the money to invest or do anything else that you're wanting to do. So it's been a lifesaver for us. It's taken us from we want to get out of debt to, like being able to do like things that we would never in a million years think that we'd ever be able to do. So I know that was a very long answer to a short question, and
No,
it's the one I take the longest to answer. But I just think so often if we could just get past that obstacle of them understanding that this is running your own business with none of the overhead and none of the risk, that people would be more open to it.
I agree with you. And, we talk about David Bach every week, but it always impresses me because it is true. Like he had such a simple solution, and it was just put some money aside and invest that. And the moment he said that, people were like, but I don't have money to put aside.
Mhm.
And that's where direct sales came into play. That can be your money to use to invest. It can be your little part-time gig that, controls your future. So
Yeah.
I just love that about it. So welcome to everybody that's joining us. There's a ton of you on. Make sure you click that share button when you're watching this from the Grace and Grit Studio business page. We'd really appreciate that. So, okay, now that we know what direct sales is, Mary Grace, how does jewelry fit into this? Like, why is jewelry perfect in the direct sales realm?
I know because you can choose other products. Janine
Right?
and I chose other products in the beginning, but really what happened is it was kind of an accident. We each went to different shows. She was baskets, I was candles. We didn't even know each other until more recently. Well, decade or so. But anyway, but Park Lane is the only company that I know of that recognizes experience, which they should, because you develop a certain set of skills when you work yourself up through a direct sales company. We certainly had. But my point is, like, we chose those products because we went to a show and we liked those products
Yeah.
at that time. And I didn't go looking for a jewelry company.
Right.
Now, The Levine family was smarter than I was, and apparently than you were either, because they decided when they started this company in 1955, they had determined that they wanted to use the direct sales model for all of the reasons I just said earlier about people picking their own hours and being able to run their own lives, especially women. They were very much empowering other people. So they were all about direct sales. What they decided to do, though, is to hire consultants. And for these professional consultants, three different ones, three different companies, to go out into the world and do their homework on what product they should represent. And I love to hear the owner tell the story still, because he said his parents were absolutely shocked when all three consultants came back with jewelry as number one. All
Hmm.
of their other choices varied, but they all came back as jewelry as number one. So they were taken aback, but they said, okay, defend your answers, and these are the reasons why jewelry are so wonderful. Now I've lived them, you lived them,
Hmm.
but it didn't occur to me, before why I spent all that other time in a different company. But my gosh, like once you start saying them, you're like, of course, like jewelry withstands the test of time.
Right.
It's not a fad in any kind of way, and yet it's considered a consumable product. The whole fashion industry is, because it does change with the seasons and with the trends and everything. And that was very attractive to me. The market that we sell to or represent is there's no limits. Okay, it's just every age, everybody in between, men, women. If people aren't interested in wearing jewelry, which is rarely the case, it's one of the top three gifts in the world: candy, flowers, and jewelry. And then from the vantage point of being someone who represents a jewelry company, it is so cool because people wear our product. So it's a very
Right.
soft sell. We wear our product. So an
Right.
incredibly soft sell. So when somebody says, oh my gosh, you have the puffy heart on, it's like the biggest trend. And I'm like, I know, this is what I do for a living. I'm in the jewelry business. Then you can so easily take it into, oh my gosh, I would love to get your opinion on some of our other things. So it is very simple and easy to become somebody's jewelry person. There's no, I had someone the other day that came to us from a skin company. They used to have to study the ingredients, study what it could do to people's faces. Same with people that do
Too much.
nutrients and vitamins and anything ingested. I mean, basically, Janine, like, did you know where a necklace goes?
Right here. That's about all I need to know. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did you know where earrings went? Okay, congratulations, everyone. You're all qualified to represent jewelry. And I could go on and on about all of the advantages of jewelry. It's one of the only products that sales actually go up in economic hard times. It's just, and we've experienced that. So yeah, very inexpensive to ship and store. It's the best place to be, and I have totally doubled, tripled my income from being here with Park Lane as opposed to when I sold another product.
So, okay, so you just transitioned into that. So now that we know what direct sales is, and now that we know why jewelry fits in so very well, why does Park Lane, like why Park Lane when there's so many different jewelry companies?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have doubled or tripled my income if I went with another jewelry company, I don't think.
Probably not.
It's Park Lane that's so incredibly special on top of having a product that everybody loves. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had an opportunity, a flattering opportunity to serve in somebody's home office in a very high capacity, a high
Very
level on
flattering.
salary.
Yeah.
And at that time when you're switching, you're a little nervous about money or whatever. But I still went with Park Lane as opposed to the other company. And there were a lot
Goodness.
of reasons, but the main ones were because I found that Park Lane had the most variety. Seriously, any other jewelry company that I come across still, which they're wonderful, but they specialize generally in a certain look.
Right.
So if you don't like pearls, then there goes that. If you don't like Swarovski crystals, there goes that. If you don't like silver, there goes that. Or if somebody doesn't, so it just
Right.
it thins the herd, so to speak. Park Lane has such a variety of products and every single kind of it serves every single kind of taste. So that was one of the big reasons. The main reason was the product, I mean the programs. And they always say when you're looking at any place to work, look at their programs. So like that might translate to somebody who's looking for a corporate job to like, not only how much do they pay, but what additional perks, what's the health insurance, what's the vacation time, what we were talking about your Sunday day, what are they willing to do for you, when you're traveling, things like that. Well, in direct sales, you want to look at the programs, because not only do they serve us very well, but the better that they serve our customer base, the
Right.
better that we're going to do. So here at Park Lane, been around since 1955. That's big. We're debt free. Not only are we debt free, but we pay cash for everything. So it gives us incredible buying power. And we also know, as the employee, that we're going to get our check every week and we get paid every week. And we also know that they're going to deliver to our customers. There's not all of a sudden going to be some kind of terrible, like, the bankruptcy thing happening or anything, right? All of that is super, super, super cool. Okay. But the programs, like, for the customer, these, Janine, but I'm going to tell everyone else. Like, we have a customer sale that other companies just can't afford to do, because they don't have the backing that we have as far as the financial security. So it's buy two items for regular price, get four for half. Your two regular price should be your least expensive. So we only like to see people pay full price for something that's about $20 or $30. And
Correct.
then everything else is half price. This thrills people no end. And then we always throw in a kicker, like a zinger. And if you spend $90, you can get the most expensive thing in the whole entire book for $35. So this does a couple things. Not only does it get the customers excited, and we love to say it, but it also is easy to repeat. So they tell each other,
True.
word of mouth. Girls love to share a sale. Guys love to share a sale too. And then also it drives our average order up, because the best deal is at about $100. So our average order runs well over $100. I sold an awful lot of $6.95 tea lights in my last job. Okay. So it's fun that they're getting so much. And then when you go back to what I said earlier, they're not out in the world wearing one item. They're out in the world wearing 6, 7, 8
Right.
items, because they went for the greater sale. Now, in the same way, the hostess, who's the one that just says, like, hey, you guys, I have something awesome to share with you. I would love for you to meet Mary Grace or Janine or your rep. I'd love for you to meet them. I want you to take part of this, because I want you to see what their sale is. It's so incredible. They do it for their friends. They want their friends to hear about the sale. And then what do? We reward them with tons of free jewelry, because they
Hmm.
shared us with their family and friends. And it's free jewelry for every single order that they get. Now, to some of you, this might not mean anything. To me, coming from where it was a percentage of what people spent, it meant a lot, because it
Right.
took away a couple obstacles for people. It took away an obstacle for people like me that used to be teachers, and our friends didn't have any money. So they hardly spent any money. So, like, our friends can buy, or any hostess's friends could buy the littlest item in the catalog, $20 or whatever. And still, Park Lane's going to reward them with
Mhm.
$20 in free jewelry per order. When they get to 10 orders, they double it. So I literally, our average hostess picks anywhere from 400, 500,
Mhm.
$1,000 in free and discounted
Really?
jewelry.
Yeah.
I don't have to repeat myself. How happy are we that people are out in the world wearing that jewelry? Now, as far as we are concerned, we're the highest paid reps in the industry. We start at 30%. And I already mentioned that we also have an ability to come in at higher titles, and we certainly have an ability to promote to higher titles. I've done both. And we can go all the way up to 50% commission. And that's just the start of it. We have weekly bonuses, we have monthly bonuses, we have car bonuses, we have 2 free trips a year that
Mhm.
we can earn. We have thousands of dollars in jewelry we can earn every single month. And honestly, I think we're one of the only companies that pay on our own sales. So, like, if you order a bunch, Janine, you also get paid on that. There's
Mhm.
no, like, direct to, company profit or whatever. And this is
Right.
great, because that's a family and friends discount, my people. Like, if you're buying jewelry right now, you need to become a rep, because wouldn't you like to buy all that jewelry and get your 30% to 50% back every week? It's kind of like using coupons.
It is. That's exactly what it
Or
is.
better. Yeah,
Like
it's
Gold
perfect.
Cash.
Yes, absolutely. And I always end with this, and I probably should start with this, because people are more savvy about what some companies offer. And this is huge. This is huge. We don't have quotas.
None.
We seriously don't. You do it as little or as much as you want. They believe in leading with enticing you to want more and to be able to earn more, not because you're going to get kicked out or lose your title or suffer because you might, didn't do what they said you have to do every week or
Right.
month. They're like, then it's not your own business. People can close their own businesses for a month or two if they want to,
Yep.
so we can do that here. So I'm sure I've left some out, but there's so many reasons that Park Lane is the most wonderful direct sales company out there.
I don't think you left anything out, but every week you say this and you didn't say it this week, and I have a prop, so I'm going to say it. It's easy to now listen. You carried candles all around, right? And I carried
Oh,
baskets, pottery, and wrought iron. And the wrought iron was like end tables and things of that nature. So it's easy to ship and store, and it's easy to go to a party because all you need is a bag. A
yes.
plain bag, and everything can fit in here. And this is what we walk into parties with, or when we do in-person events, we walk in with a small bag.
Yeah.
And that is, you don't need a big trunk. You don't need a storage room. You don't
That
need
is
all the
so
things
true.
that
And
we used
so
to need.
no inventory. We don't keep inventory,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, it's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
wear what's yours. I mean, you're wearing your product. That's your merch. I talked about this last week. It's your merch. You get to wear it
Yeah.
and enjoy it. All right. So I always ask the last question in a funny way, but it is true. Like, there's really never a bad time to join Park Lane Jewelry, in my opinion. But why is now the best time to join?
I think now is you're right. There's never a bad time. And if you're watching this, I really believe that you either were enticed by something or it's a sign. It's like,
Fine.
how did I end up this? And if anything, like I used to say to people, like, if you're finding like you can't sleep tonight at the thought of this exciting opportunity, then let's do it, because most people um, are what they call failure avoiders. So
Hmm.
5% of people in the world will take a chance on something, even something like this, that the worst thing that can happen is you don't like it. And we go, all right, well, I'm got something to tell you then. Here's your penalty. You must keep the money
You
you
must
made. You
keep
must keep all the jewelry. Yeah. So, and we'd love to have you back as a customer. And it's just, there's really no con. Um, However, we are also offering an extra $100 in jewelry right now.
Mhm.
So typically for $129, it's $500 of jewelry of your choice. That in itself is great. I mean, if you walked into a store and they said pick 129, pay $129 for 500, well, right now it's $600 worth of jewelry that you get to choose. And we're at like this amazing season type change time.
We
So
are.
when we're going from transitioning from summer into fall, it's a time when people are really looking to update their looks, update their wardrobes, and
Right.
all of that. And you'd like to get in on that. It's wonderful to get in on that. Before you know it, we'll be dropping a fall capsule. We just released a brand new whole line not that long ago, matter of weeks ago. So it is a wonderful, wonderful time to get started.
I don't disagree with you, and I just love that.
You better not.
No, I don't disagree with you, and I just love that we have the option of, doing that little dip your toe show where, like, okay, if they're
Yes.
gonna fill this Google form out, which I'm gonna place in here, it's at the top in the, description as well in every place that we put it. But when they fill this Google form out, they're not only going to tell us the type of jewelry that they love and who invited them here, but they're also going to just answer a couple of easy questions. So, what's the one thing that we ask them to do if they do think they want to try this? What is the one expectation that we ask?
I used to say to people, I know you're nervous. I know maybe you're not ready to jump into the pool with us or whatever. Maybe you're just like, I have to talk to people. I'm so overwhelmed. I go, but do you think you could take an hour, 2 hours of your life just to have a
Yeah,
party?
yeah,
And when that party, at the end of that party, regardless, you're going to get all the free jewelry that a hostess would get. But then
right.
I could also say to you, you want the $300-400? You want me to keep it? And people go, and you could also see how your friends react to it and your family react to it and everything. So we call it like a decider party.
Mhm.
So regardless of it, whether or not you've made a decision to come with us here and we are understaffed, we need you, regardless, then you really should go ahead and schedule a party with the person who invited you tonight. Plus,
Amen.
she'll be thrilled.
Well, yeah, she'll be thrilled. And then at the end of that party, if you decide you would like to join us, then you take the paycheck and the jewelry. If you decide, you know what, this isn't for me, then the stylist gets the paycheck and you still get the jewelry. It is a win-win situation all
And if
around.
you know right now, I'm in, I'm in, I'm in, you still want to more than ever want to have that party, because we call it your promotional party, and it's like it's almost like we're taking the crown off our heads and we're putting it on yours. Like these are your customers now. These are your leads. You know, this is all for you, and it's a pretty wonderful way to start your business.
And we plan on working together with you and adjusting your crown throughout your entire reign
Yes,
here as a business person. You know what?
yes.
Thank you so much, Mary Grace. I always appreciate talking to you on Mondays.
Thanks,
Thank you to
guys.
everybody that hopped in. There was a ton of you watching, so definitely hit that share button and share this. You will have about 24 hours to fill that Google form out, so please do so. Make sure you indicate which stylist invited you here, and Mary Grace will pick a lucky winner and send you a beautiful curated piece of jewelry or two to your liking. So, Mary Grace, thank you so much for tonight. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care.